So today we will be studying from 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 1 to 9. Verse 1. Follow after charity and desire spiritual gifts, but rather that ye may prophesy. So Apostle Paul is instructing the Corinthians here to do to 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 express their charity, to walk in the tradition of charity, okay, which has to do with our reflections, our prayers, and our spiritual sacrifices of prophecy. Okay, so this is the tradition of charity and desire spiritual gifts. So the spiritual gifts have to do with the things from above, the tokens from above, tokens of grace that we receive when we touch, when we have access to the tools, touch the tools. We should covet those spiritual gifts, cover the things from above, and not cover the things from beneath. We lust, but we can either lust for godly things or lust for corrupt things, but rather that ye may prophesy. So he's highlighting prophecy, the spiritual sacrifices of prophecy, not prediction or not level 3. He's not speaking about the prophet's office either. And also he's not speaking about level 2 prophecy, which is a gift of the Spirit. But he's speaking about level 1 prophecy, spiritual sacrifices of prophecy. He's highlighting the importance of this. Why is prophecy important? Okay. When we prophesy, we are confirming the truth of Jesus Christ, and it comes from the anointing, and it purges the conscience. And also, when we share our prophecies, we edify each other, but we also learn from each other. We learn, get tidbits of wisdom, knowledge and understanding to add to our understanding, to add to our foundation. And this is how we help each other, edify each other. So, verse 2. For he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but unto God. For no man understandeth him, howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries. So when we speak in an unknown tongue, he's talking about the tongues, the language of angels. Praying and speaking in tongues is the same thing. So when we speak in an unknown tongue, we're speaking mysteries to God, okay, which has to do with about sin and everything, so that it doesn't condemn. We don't understand what we're saying, so that it doesn't condemn us. But nobody else understands. The saints won't understand what you're saying when you're speaking in tongues. So that's why he's saying that he that speaketh in an unknown tongue speaketh not unto men, but to God. And for no man understandeth him. So howbeit in the spirit he speaketh mysteries. Okay? And verse 3, but he that prophesieth speaketh unto men to edification, exhortation, comfort. So when we share our level 1 prophecies, we are speaking in an earthly language, but also the language of the covenant, right? We are speaking English or whatever your home language is, a language of an earthly language that the people around you can understand, like the saints. And this edifies, exalts, and comforts because they understand what you're saying. Okay, but when you're speaking in tongues, no one understands. Verse 4. He that speaketh in an unknown tongue edifieth himself, but he that prophesieth edifieth the church. So tongues is also, it edifies you only. When you pray in tongues, it only edifies you, and it refreshes and edifies you. It's just for yourself. How you're loving yourself, loving God. Okay. But when we prophesy, okay, we edify the church, we edify the brethren. So this is why it's also important to prophesy. Okay. Edifying, loving. When we edify each other, we are loving each other. That's superior to just loving only yourself, right? We're supposed to love others as much as we love ourselves. Verse 5. I would that ye all spake with tongues, but rather that ye prophesied. For greater is he that prophesieth than he that speaketh with tongues, except he interpret, that the church may receive edifying. So it's basically saying that prophecy is superior to tongues because, like we said, edifies the church and not just yourself. And except, but tongues is very good when it comes with interpretation. That's the gift of the Spirit. Tongues with interpretation. Then the saints will understand what you're saying. Okay. Then the saints will understand when you speak of tongues and it comes into interpretation. Oh, I just have to say, okay, like tongues, number one, is our prayer language, is the language of angels. And tongues, number two, is the gift of the Spirit, which is an earthly language. Maybe you'll find yourself just talking Chinese when you're an Englishman, and and sometimes it comes with interpretation, and it, this is, yeah, that's what it is. But he's talking here about both of them. Okay, that unless it comes with interpretation, um, that's tongues too. Um, then then it will edify the church. But if it's just tongues one, it's just speaking mysteries unto God, and it only edifies yourself. Okay. Verse 6. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, what shall I profit you? Except I shall speak to you either by revelation, or by knowledge, or by prophesying, or by doctrine. Okay? So he's making the point again that tongues doesn't come with understanding, just tongues one, and it won't profit you if I speak to you in tongues, because you won't understand. But when I speak by revelation of Jesus Christ, or and the knowledge which comes with knowledge, and I prophesy level 1 prophecies, or share share my reflections on the doctrine, that is superior. That is what will that will edify you. Okay, that's what will build up the church in unity and edify everyone. Okay, verse 7. And the things without life-giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harped? So, talking about like these musical interests, like it's like tongues is like a musical instrument, and if you're just playing it randomly, okay, it's like it's like playing a music instrument randomly. No one knows, it's where this melody is going or anything. But then when there's distinction in the sound, when there's this melody and consistency, and you know you can perceive the tune. Okay, so this just talks about communication. Like it's just communication has to be perceptible. It has to be understood. Okay. Otherwise, if there's no understanding in what you're saying, if it's not your understanding is not fruitful, if you don't know what someone is saying, your understanding is not fruitful. It's not you don't perceive what they're saying. So this is why prophecy is superior. Verse 8, for if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? Okay. So that's why we know that a trumpet makes a specific sound, a recorder makes a specific sound, a flute makes a specific sound, and a piano makes specific sounds. So we know when you sound the trumpets, it's ready for battle. It's time for battle. Then we all go. But now if the trumpet sounds like a whistle, nobody knows what to do. Like what is it? It's out of context. So it's just saying that we need to understand, so that we arm ourselves, or feed our faith, and arm ourselves with the knowledge of God's plan. Okay. Verse 9. So likewise ye, except ye utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For ye shall speak into the air, saying yes. So same thing. If you're using tongues, which doesn't come with understanding, you might as well, you're preaching to the choir. You might as well be speaking in the air, because the understanding is unfruitful. So he's actually stressing the point of that we need to focus on edifying each other, okay, and not just ourselves. And that comes with the stewardship of grace. And tongues is not fruitful with understanding, unless it's tongues too that comes with interpretation. So he's stressing we need to edify each other as well. And there's a greater reward in that than just praying in tongues, edifying yourself. Okay. And we'll end off there today.